The Dodgers sweep San Diego. Mookie Betts comes up big. LA now a 2-game lead in the division. Why this series meant more than any series this season. Also an update on Kiké, Hernández, Ha-Seong Kim, and Max Muncy. That's coming up next on the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show.
Oh, Mookie Betts with his 15th home run.
One-of-a-kind player! One-of-a-kind season! Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone!
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of the media. I cover the Dodgers for Dodgers Nation. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers complete the sweep, beating the San Diego Padres in all 3 games in this pivotal series. They win by a final score today of 5-4. The Dodgers, who had struggled in one-run games for over a month, the Padres, who had done well in one-run games over the last month, the Dodgers, they're able to get that win, and now they start to increase their lead in the National League West once again. The Dodgers, after today's win, you're looking at a 2-game lead in the National League West, sitting at 71-53, but because they got that series win, because they got that series win for the entire season, that season series win where the Dodgers on the year have gone 8-2 against the San Diego Padres with 3 more games left to play. That's coming up next week down in San Diego. Well, that 2-game lead against the Padres in the National League West actually feels like a 3-game lead, because that is what it is, with the Dodgers owning that tiebreaker. It was a huge series for this Dodgers team. I think they flipped a switch. Today before the game, Dave Roberts told us that that is a dangerous way to live, where you can think you can flip a switch. I think that it's a combination of guys getting healthier, going through the dog days of summer, feeling the intensity of under 40 games left to play, knowing you have a chance to win another World Series. All these little things are factoring into a Dodgers team that I think has a renewed sense of focus. And I think you saw that this series. You had quality starts from Clayton Kershaw and Blake Snell. Today, Tyler Glasnow didn't go as long as he would have hoped, but still, he showed dominance out there on the mound. And the big difference is that Dodgers bullpen that had struggled all throughout that Angels series. They had blown 4 saves in their last 7 heading into this series. They came through. Yes, there was rocky at times, but guys like Ben Kasparius and Alex Vesia and Blake Trinan executing pitches. Alexis Diaz, Anthony Banda had some rough moments at times, but collectively this weekend, the bullpen got it done, and the offense showed up when they needed to against the Padres team. And I think the big story here is there's so much talk about the Padres and the way that that team has built that roster behind A.J. Preller to try to overtake the Dodgers in this division. That they added Mason Miller and O'Hearn and Fermin and Laureano and all these pieces, but they could trade everyone that they have. They could trade every single thing in San Diego, the San Diego Zoo, Legoland, SeaWorld, Blink-182, Tony Hawk, the Tony Gwynn statue, the Channel 4 News team. They could trade all that, and they don't have as good of a roster as the Dodgers. They're not as talented as the Dodgers. They're not as well managed as the Dodgers. They don't have a good approach to certain things about the game like the Dodgers do. They're not going to run themselves out of games, or the Dodgers like the Padres did yesterday. And when the lights are at their brightest, this Padres team, more often than not, can't beat the Dodgers. And that doesn't mean they're a bad team. It just shows the Dodgers are stacked, and they're so talented that when it comes down to it, they are going to beat the Padres. And you saw that once again this series, and for the most part, it's been like that. Yes, in 2022, we know what happened. The Dodgers won 111 games. The Padres beat them in the NLDS. But you know how that is. You know, sometimes you let your little brother win when you're playing Street Fighter, and then you want to build his confidence up, and your mom tells you, hey, let little Johnny win. Let little Johnny win one. Build his confidence up. He has no friends at school. Build his confidence up. So you let him win a couple, and then you beat him badly again to show him that, hey, you're still big brother. And the Dodgers showed that once again, that they're still not only the best team in the National League West, but that also I don't think they're as focused on the Padres as the Padres are of the Dodgers. The Dodgers view the Padres as a stepping stone to another World Series title, in that you have to finish with a better record than them in the regular season. And yes, the way things line up, you could face them. It's more likely in the NLCS and the DS right now. And yes, that would be absolute cinema. That would be an electric matchup. But the Dodgers know that you can't win the World Series if you beat the Padres. That's just not how it works. The Dodgers know that you don't win the World Series by beating the Padres. You win the World Series when you beat the best team in the American League. Whereas the Padres are like, hey, we beat the Dodgers. That's our World Series, right? We saw that in 2022. You beat the Dodgers. It's pandemonium in San Diego, and then you lose to the Phillies. And you had the that's what's in guys, right? So the Padres, give them credit. They're going for it. And we know that they hung that Padres won the trade deadline banner. And they also hung that the Padres were in first place in the National League West for a day and a half in August of 2025 banner. But the Dodgers know that if you don't win a World Series, their season is considered a failure because that's the standard that's set here. And I think we saw that guys like Machado and Tatis aren't as good as Mookie and Shohei and Freddie. And today, the big story offensively is Mookie Betts, who had gone 0 for 8 so far in this series, was able to get on base with some walks, had a sacrifice fly in Friday's win, a productive out. But after walking and flying out twice, Mookie Betts steps up to the plate after the Dodgers had given up the lead. They allowed the Padres creep back into this one and tie it at 4 in the top half of the 8th inning. You had Robert Suarez, the star reliever for the Padres, on the mound, and Mookie Betts, he steps up to the plate. He ambushes a pitch early in the count and crushes one deep, and that put the Dodgers up 5-4. So amazing moment there for Mookie Betts. And I think the big takeaways for Betts is, look, everyone talks about the Dodgers not getting more players at the deadline, but the truth is they got back a player that for most of the season was a below average bat. And that's what Mookie Betts was. And then ever since the meeting with JD Martinez, the ovation from Dodger Stadium, for whatever reason, he has looked a lot better. And you see it in his swing. I mean, that was a confident swing. The top hand just following through, attacking, being aggressive, picking his spot right there. That looked like the Mookie Betts is going to be a Hall of Famer one day. Make no mistake about it. Mookie Betts is going to the Hall of Fame, and he's going to be doing it because of what he can do with the bat, not with his glove. I mean, you can't make the Hall of Fame by just being a 6-time Gold Glove Award winning right fielder or a guy who plays shortstop in his 30s. That's not how it works. You got to slug. You got to rake, and he's done that for most of his career. And if this is the Mookie Betts that we're going to get moving forward, that means that the Dodgers offense has improved because of a player that they are getting now, I think more than any other offensive player that was traded at the deadline, because that's how underperforming Mookie Betts was, and that's the potential that he has now. He's starting to really hit like an all-star, his second home run in his last 9 games. So you got to feel great for Mookie Betts. I mean, he said earlier this week that when it came to his season, that he said his season was pretty much over. And what he meant by that was statistically that he was not going to focus on the numbers, and he was just going to try to do anything that he could to help his team win. And he certainly did that today. And here was Mookie Betts after the game.
Like you've been talking about, trying to have that mindset of just doing something that helps the team. Like how much clarity does that give you when you're coming up to bat in the 8th there, just trying to look to do something productive?
It gives me a lot, but, kind of every bat is the same at this point, just try and do something productive. So it definitely helps not carry burdens from previous at-bats.
Not to ask the obvious, but how nice did it feel kind of connecting on that ball like that and having a moment like that?
It felt good. It's been a long time, but kind of is what it is. It's done and over with now, and you got to focus on finishing the season strong because this is a tight race.
Have you felt a lot closer to maybe yourself lately, especially at the plate?
Yeah, I feel pretty normal now. It's just a matter of just continuing to put together good at-bats, but I feel pretty normal.
What's your emotions as you cross home plate, crowd's fired up, you kind of salute? What's going through your mind at that time?
Just finally I did something good for the boys. That's with the bat. I feel like I've done a decent job with the glove, but with the bat, I haven't really been able to help much. So it's just good to help them.
You've already taken the series against San Diego, but to capture or sweep in that fashion, what can that sort of do for you guys going forward?
Nothing. I think we just have to focus on Colorado tomorrow. Go play good baseball there, and then we'll see San Diego again. So we can't get caught up in the emotions.
When you get up 2-0 in the count, can you start looking to be a little bit more aggressive there? Or kind of does the approach change at all?
No, not really. Just in a 2-0 count, obviously anybody is going to look to be aggressive in that kind of count. So, it's not any more aggressive than anything normal.
What was the difference this week? You guys talked about just needing to play better baseball. Is it just kind of what it felt like in all phases, just being kind of sharper, more consistent, able to deliver when you needed?
Yeah, I think so. We were able to hold leads and tack on runs late. So we just played a good brand of baseball this weekend. But again, we still got a long way to go.
Doc said he's
Mookie Betts, he said, hey, we got to do something for the boys, did something to finally help this team win. I just love his mindset. I think that he's so free right now. Dave talked about it before the game, that there's a lightness to Mookie Betts, and you could see that on display where he's not grinding like he was. He's not mired in that, do I need to try to get a swing to improve my batting average, my OPS? No, he's just going to try to do something every single day. And today, Mookie Betts is not thinking about the fact that he's been hitting 230 or 240 or 250 or whatever it is through parts of the season, or that he's hitting 242 right now. Mookie Betts is 1 for 3 today. And when you're 1 for 3, you feel a lot better about that. I think that's the mindset and the approach. So Mookie Betts in 333 for the day, and I think that that's something that's going to build his confidence. It's going to allow him to play free for the rest of the way. And I think we are going to get a very productive version of Mookie Betts down the stretch. And that is what's going to take this offense over the top. Because remember, you don't have Max Muncy right now. It's going to be a while till you get him back. Dave said he's going to start moving tomorrow, and they're going to have a better idea about the plan for Max Muncy because he's going to be rotating tomorrow. So they're going to see where he's at and have a better understanding about the plan for him. But these guys are going to have to step up and make sure that this offense gets the production that it needs. But let's continue to break this one down here on the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show. Got some comments down below. A lot of you guys looking for that shoey. We're going to do it tomorrow. So I am back in the studio. We got Let's Go Dodgers, a torta for Dodgers Yoda. Appreciate the when Dodgers did sweep Padres, a must. What up? Thank you for the $10. Appreciate that. We got Jose Aguirre in the chat. As soon as I saw Suarez come out, I knew he had this one. He ended up striking out the next couple of batters, retired the next 3 batters that he faced. We got praying that Triangle will figure it out for the playoffs and sooner. I think that there's been better versions of that. I'm imagining D-Mac with a mustache. Okay. Tashui tomorrow was not agreed upon. I gotta look. I've been out. I'll have to figure something out. But let's continue to break this one down because there's a lot more in this game. So Tyler Glasnow in this one, he gave up 2 runs in 5 innings of work. He had an outing that really looked like he was going to match what Kirsch and what Blake Snell did. He did have 8 strikeouts. The slider was effective. I think the fact that he's still really helping this team win games, and the fact true is that since he's been back, I mean, the punch-out has been big, man. He's been striking out guys at an extremely high clip. He's struck out 49 hitters in 39 2/3 innings. And in this one, Glasnow, it really was kind of to the point where you're looking at him and the way he handled this team. Yeah, it was the leadoff hits that really, really were the issue for the Dodgers pitchers today. 4 times the Padres were able to get leadoff offense, and it led to runs every single time. You saw it there in the early stages of this game. In the 3rd inning, Glasnow, he issued that leadoff walk to Cronenworth. He ends up scoring on that Tatis double to make it a 4-1. Then Laureano hit a leadoff home run in the 5th to make it a 4-2 game. Then Anthony Banda gave a leadoff double in the 6th. He later scored on a O'Hearn double to make it 4-3. And then Alexis Diaz, he was up 0-2 to Bogarts, and he hit him with a slider up and in, and that run ultimately scored on a Jose Iglesias ground out later in that inning, and that made things 4-4. So that was kind of the issue. As far as Glasnow's outing, I think it was fine. I really do. I think for him, he just has to be able to maintain what he's doing early in his appearances. And when he's making those starts and he's having success early on, that is what you want to be able to maintain. So I still think he's in the process of building up towards the end of my start is as good as the beginning of my start. And we're slowly getting there. But yeah, there is some moments where it can get a little wonky towards the end of his outings. At the top of the 5th inning, after he gave up that home run to Laureano, he, a couple batters later, gave a single to Fermin, and then he gave that double to Rise. But with runners on 2nd and 3rd, he got Machado to ground out to 2nd. So there is a little bit of this, he's really good, really good, really good, and then he starts to decline throughout his start and become less effective. So you want to see just him be able to maintain that throughout an entire start. And I still think, though, the stuff, I might really like what I saw from his slider today. I mean, the slider was getting soft contact. The slider was getting strikeouts, and just a fastball overall, when he commands it, is just such an effective pitch for him because it has velocity, also has some movement, and also he was able to get some really, really good defense. And that's another major plus for the Dodgers in this matchup this season is when the Dodgers had a chance to make a play with the glove or step up in some way, they have. And yesterday, I mean, just look at yesterday. Jackson Merrill, he drops that one that led to runs. And then today in the top of the 3rd inning, you've got a runner on first base, and it looks like the Padres are going to put together a pretty positive inning against Tyler Glasnow after he walked Cronenworth. He's at first base. And then Fermin, he singles to center, hits one that was perfectly played off the wall by Andy Pages. Andy Pages fields it, and he shows that cannon of an arm, and they throw out Fermin at 2nd for a massive out.
Infielder playing it off the wall perfectly, eyes in the back of his head.
I mean, just great throw, great tag by Mookie Betts, and that was humongous because next batter, Fernando Tatis Jr., he doubled to right. That scored Cronenworth, but that could have been easily a 2-run double, making it a 4-2 game. So Andy Pages' defense today saved the Dodgers a run. And when you look at teams that are close on the margins, those are the type of plays that lead to sweeps, because later in that game, the Padres were able to tie things up at 4, so that could have been the difference in the game. So big credit to Andy Pages, who also hit a home run in this game. And Tyler Glasnow, he'll be the first to tell you that, hey, he can level up too. He can continue to get better. So big shout out to the defense having his back today, saving him in that inning. And here was Tyler Glasnow, Santa Clarita's own, talking about his start after the game. So we go out in a second here. Give me 1 second. We got Tyler Glasnow. By the way, throw your grade out for Tyler Glasnow. What do you give him for his start today. If I'm grading Glass on this one, I got to give Tyler Glasnow a solid B, because I just think that he's a guy that can always be in the double-digit territory with strikeouts, 10 strikeouts or more. He can put up zeros at a higher clip. Today, like I said, gave up 2 runs on 6 hits and 5 innings of work, 8 strikeouts and a walk. But we know that Tyler Glasnow, when he's on, he's as good as it gets. And here was him talking about his start right after the game.
Well, Tyler, I know we often have talked about just you kind of getting things going earlier in your outing. How did you find just settling in from the start with this one, with the strikeouts early in this game?
Yeah, I think early on it felt good, especially that first inning. I think I just tinkered with the slider a little bit, had it a lot earlier today. It was kind of the pitch I relied on, and then just try to carry it on through the rest of the game.
With the long balls, do you kind of look at that as something that was maybe just they got a good swing, or doesn't really?
I think especially that last one, I think it was like kind of a bad four-seam up, and then I think guys are already looking up, and I kind of just threw it right like middle in. Not like a ton of exit velo, but I just think like day games and stuff, you kind of have to be a little bit more like, I don't know. I think I could have been a little bit more aggressive there, but yeah, he put a good swing on it.
That slider so effective, especially early.
I changed the grip up a little bit. I just was getting around it really bad, and the velo was lower today, but I think like I just felt a little bit more behind it, even though it was probably more on the side. It was just maybe like a cue thing. So the slider grip I usually had wasn't feeling great, so I just tinkered with it a little bit, and it felt a lot better.
This raising the arms thing, where did that come from?
I've been doing that for a while. I've been kind of mixing it in the last few games. I don't know. It just feels good.
This weekend had playoff vibes, especially today. How good is it to do what you guys did this week?
It's great, especially to come in here against San Diego and do what we did, get it going. It was an awesome 3-game series.
Especially just with the injury last year, like to be in these kind of games and pitching well in them, like how much does that mean to you?
It's awesome. It does suck to just kind of sit in the sidelines and not watch, so I'm happy that I can actually participate and help.
There was Tyler Glasnow, so got some comments down below. A 9.5 for Glasnow. I like that from Bilal. Okay, we got a 1999 super chat from Haley. Finally caught a hit alive. Yes, thank you so much. Love you, Dodgers Nation. Love you, Haley. 1999. Appreciate that. Jeremy Buckley. Glasnow needs to hold a surfboard during his post games. Okay, that's early comment of the show. Yeah, I could see him. You know, Tyler Glasnow wore puka shells at some point in high school. Like, there's no doubt about that. And I'm very glass half full now on Tyler Glasnow because, look, I'm just looking at his bounce back. Does he respond well from a physical standpoint? And one thing I want to ask Glasnow is how locked in are those mechanics? Is it something that he thinks about, those adjusted mechanics that he modified this offseason in the hope that it would allow him to remain healthy? Or is this something that he has to continue to refine? I'm very curious because that's going to be absolutely massive. Ruben, what's the best part about dating a girl who's a Padres fan? She won't be expecting a ring. Wow. Wow, that's a comment of the show from Ruben. What's the best part about dating a girl who's a Padres fan? She won't be expecting a ring. Finish him. Claudia, B to B minus, B plus was in line. That's from Sonny. We got Jonas, a B. Good one. We got B plus. We got B performance, B minus, hair, A plus. You guys are bringing it today. I love it. It's a nice comment of the show from Bobby Bowie, 9350. We got Jenny, Padres are washed. Hazel Denny, always repping Glasnow. Hopefully he can stay healthy from JCO4. His hair is always an A plus. That's from Francie. We got Cantankerous 75, $5 super chat. Is Conforto's streak over now that he had 2 good games? Do we go back to trash talking Conforto? Look, Mike Conforto helped this team win 2 games this series. And today, a couple strikeouts, wasn't at his best, but I think it was definitely a very positive weekend for Tyler Glasnow. Okay, continue to break this one down. The bullpen, that's the big story for this Dodgers team down the stretch. Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates, who threw, is going to be the first guy back. And I was talking to Kirby Yates, and kind of the thing for Yates is the lower body is more engaged, so he doesn't have to manipulate the baseball as much. And that's going to be very helpful for him because that's really been one of the reasons why he hasn't been as effective is because he's been kind of more upper body with his throw. Now you're seeing a fully engaged body. So they've kind of looked at some things as far as mechanics and getting that lower half more involved in his pitching mechanics. And Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott are going to start rehab assignments on Tuesday in AAA. So that is something that's extremely, extremely encouraging, because that's the final piece of this puzzle is all these bullpen guys. We know the rotation, if they stay healthy, they're set. We know the lineup, save for Max Muncy, when he returns, is going to be set. By the way, Kiké Hernández, he took swings today. He was involved batting practice. Him and Ha-Seong Kim were both on the field at Dodger Stadium taking swings. That was a major, major step in the right direction, and they will be starting rehab assignments very soon as well. That's going to be a major development, because now you're getting guys back that you need in the bullpen. Then you're getting guys back that you need on the bench and on the offensive side. And Kiké Hernández, a guy that we know this team needs him. And he absolutely has turned a corner from what I was told yesterday, speaking to someone with the team. And he took batting practice today. He was swinging a bat. And before, when he was swinging a bat, it was giving him a lot of discomfort, as well as when he was playing catch, and that elbow pain was starting to really make it to where I think there was a lot of fear that he wasn't going to be able to return this season. So that's really positive to see. Hopefully those guys are going to come back, stay back, and help this team. Today you had Buddy Kennedy at third base for the Dodgers, making his Dodgers debut, and he was starting at third base. He ended up going 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Fun fact about Buddy Kennedy: in the history of the Los Angeles Dodgers, he's going to be the answer to a fun trivia question. And that trivia question is, who was the 2000th Dodgers player ever to play for this franchise? Well, the answer is Buddy Kennedy. Buddy Kennedy, the 2000th Dodger in the history of this franchise. So congratulations to Buddy Kennedy. And now let's talk more about this bullpen, because Tyler Glasnow, he goes out of the game, and Anthony Bonda, he gets the ball for the 6th, and his job was to go out there and face the left-handed hitters in that Padres lineup, and he wasn't able to get the job done. He gave a double to Gavin Sheets. Then Ryan O'Hearn, he hit a double to right, and I see people talking about Teo. Should he have gone to that? No, look, Teo is hitting, man. And when he's hitting, you'll live with whatever defense is out there. But, yeah, I mean, that was still a really well-hit ball. And in that inning, this was Anthony Bonda's day just to not really have it. And for the most part, Bonda has pitched well. But I think if you're Anthony Bonda and you want to make this postseason roster, which if everyone's healthy, Bonda is a guy that would be on the bubble. Let's just be honest about that. He's a guy that's pitched a lot in the regular season. So because of that, that might be under consideration about how effective you're going to be in the postseason. One thing Kirby Yates said yesterday was that he's fresher than most of his teammates, and he thinks that's going to give an advantage because most guys in August aren't feeling great. That's what Yates said. And Bonda's pitched a lot this season, and in that 6th inning, he gave that double to Sheets. He did strike out Bogarts, and then O'Hearn, he doubled to right to make it a 4-3 game. So just like that, the Padres pull within 1. And then I think the moment of the game on the pitching side came in that inning. Ben Casperius, he comes in the game. He hits Laureano with a pitch. That gives the Padres runners on first and second. And then Cronenworth, he grounded into a fielder's choice. Laureano's out at second, then O'Hearn gets to third. That sets the Padres up with runners on the corners, the tying run at third with 2 outs. And this at-bat against Fermin, it was a 1-2 count, and he just dotted a 99-mile-per-hour fastball on the corner. That gets the Dodgers out of that inning, and they're only able to get a run there when they could have taken the lead. So that was huge. And then Blake Treinen, 7th inning, he did give up a hit to Arise, a 1-out single, but then he was able to get Machado and Sheets to ground out. So Blake Treinen is looking more like postseason Blake Treinen. On Friday, they had him come in there just to face the one hitter because they wanted to be able to use him later on this series and have that flexibility. And you saw that on display today. Have him come out there and pitch that inning. The question mark today I have as far as the long-term effects of their current performance is Alexis Diaz, because Diaz on Friday came in, got a couple of big outs, strikeout, and it looks like he's climbing up that trust tree. Today, Alexis Diaz comes into the game, a 4-3 game in the 8th. He hits Bogarts with a pitch on an 0-2 count. Walks will come back to kill you. You cannot walk guys, especially when you're leading off guys. And then on top of that, you can't hit guys, right? Walks will kill you. Hit batters will kill you. You cannot give up those free base runners. He hits him with a slider, and then he comes back. He strikes out O'Hearn. Really nice pitch in that at-bat. Nice slider. And then he gives up the double to Laureano. So he hit a batter, he gave up a double, and then Alex Vesia had to come in and clean up this mess. First batter, he's facing Jose Iglesias with runners on second and third. He hits one on the ground to short. They go to first to get the out, but the Padres tie it at 4. So you had some good and some bad. You had Kasparius, you had Blake Treinen, and you had Alex Vesia pitched well. And then Alexis Diaz and Anthony Bonda did not have their best day out of the pen. So those are things to look at, because I'm telling you, the number one storyline as far as roster goes to end the season is going to be who makes that Dodgers bullpen, who stays healthy, who plays well. So that's kind of the big thing with that. But then, of course, let's get to this, and we'll get to all your comments. How about Freddie Freeman? He had the special bats, right, for his sons, the Charlie bat. He had all these bats, and then he's able to hit a big 3-run home run to start things off. So Freddie Freeman off of Yu Darvish, old friend Yu Darvish, and Andy Pages, he did it defensively, and then he also did it offensively. Andy Pages with that pencil bat. Did you guys like the pencil bat? Because same inning, couple batters later, Andy Pages, he comes up and he crushes his 20th home run of the season. And that gave the Dodgers a 4-0 lead in the first inning. Andy Pages, so big day for Pages. By the way, do you guys like the pencil bat? Because that pencil bat gave them the lead. Lead. Okay, bruh. But no, we're going to go to you guys in a second. Let's hear from Dave Roberts talking about the Dodgers sweep over the Padres.
Very satisfying, considering where we were 4 days ago. Just the way we, ramped up the focus, the intensity, and obviously, winning 3 ball games here. Very tight ball games. Well-played games, and, to come out of it with 3 wins is huge going into Denver.
I think it was 3 runs in 10 innings by your bullpen. What can you say about just like the effort that they...
I thought they did a good job of picking each other up. Obviously, it was really good to see Vesia do an up-down and get a save right there, and he wanted that opportunity. If we took a lead. And so that was good right there. Felt good about that. I think that reset him, and also Blake, getting him, I think his outing resets him. And so, the guys just picked each other up all series. And, I thought we got some good starting pitching too. You look at those 2 starters, and then, with what Glass gave us today.
You talk about that reset. How big is it for, say, Vesia, have the problems he had Friday night and then come back today and give you what he gave you?
It was great. It was great. And like I said that other night, he's pitched huge ball games for us. So, it's not going to be linear all the time with performance, but you just believe in the guy. And it was good to see him, ride it today with a great outing.
Is that a Mookie that you're used to seeing?
Yeah, that was big. I think even this series, I thought he was just a little bit off, but finding ways to get on base. But, to get into a good count and turn that fastball around, that's the Mookie we like. Big hit.
You basically kind of turned things around at the moment. You basically said, my season's over. Right? How freeing was that for him, and how different of a Mookie have you seen the last week or so?
Actually, it's been a couple weeks. I just think it's just to take the pressure off, trying to recover from a season and kind of get more micro and just game to game, at bat to at bat. It's just, a better quality of life. And certainly we're seeing the performance from Mookie.
You kind of said that the the Sunday loss to the Blue Jays kind of stung with you, especially after you see them come all the way back and tie it? How big was it to sort of get that momentum swing back towards you guys to actually hold on to this one?
It was huge. Certainly feel a lot different than a week ago. Today was the pen. I thought the pen did a great job. I thought Tyler did a great job. And obviously for, I think, 6 innings, we were held scoreless after that first inning. Obviously a huge hit early by Freddie. But to really weather that inning, the last couple innings of a couple runs, and then to, get that big hit off a really good closer was big. And, yeah, feel a lot better today than a week ago.
So there was Dave Roberts talking about this win. We'll get into our takeaways, but now it's all you guys. We are reading all of your takes down below in the comments section on the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show. Dan, D-Mac is waiting to a shoe at his studio so he can use clean shoes. It's been a long, hot day. He doesn't want to drink out of his funky shoes. Yeah, no, I mean, for sure, I will definitely do that. Today I've got on my Jackie Robinson Dunks. These are one of my all-time favorites. This is one of my favorites. 11.5 Jackie Robinson Dunks. So that would be, unless someone wants to give me another pair of those. Here we go. We got also Tommy Edman. He's going to be sometime in September. So not a massive update on Tommy. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. But yeah, the latest on Tommy Edman. Dave did mention him briefly before the game. And Tommy Edman still has a ways to go. I think they're being extremely precautionary about Tommy Edman because they just don't want to have him come back, him get injured, him come back, him get injured. But he's going to be extremely important just because there's a lot of uncertainty about Max Muncy, right? I mean, he's someone that can play third, which is really, really huge too. So you want to make sure that he is back for sure. We've got I'm just happy the Dodgers got it together for this series. The Padres fans are hiding from Adam, Ryan, Cheeks from Bruce. Teo is walking to first base. That's from Tone Loke. Yeah, that's a really you have to point out the good, the bad, the ugly. And there was some bad in this game. And Teoscar Hernandez, who he's been really good last 16 games, OPSing almost 900, 6 home runs in that stretch. He's had a lot of success against the Padres. There was a at bat in the 6th inning where he did get a 2-out single to center, and he should have been at second base, but he was going half speed, and he gets to first, and then the next batter, Andy Pajes, he singles to center, and that would have given the Dodgers a nice insurance run. It would have made it a 5-3 game. So, yeah, you're absolutely right from that standpoint. Is you don't have lack of hustle there. And, we know what that looks like. And it looks like Mr. Manny Machado on the other side. And there were some bad calls in this one, let's be honest. I mean, the Manny Machado strikeout there really hurt this team for the Padres in the first inning with a runner on second. He struck out looking on a pitch that was clearly off the plate. I mean, there was a couple moments where Machado struck out, and in the last at bat, he went down swinging on that 4-seamer. But I mean, I just don't think a team with Manny Machado as their best player is going to win the World Series. Levent's 310. Teoscar needs to sit if he can't play defense. Roberts trusting Diaz too much. That's from Nando 390. I think what this is, Nando, is not necessarily that Roberts is trusting Alexis Diaz too much. It's that you've got Yates, you've got Kopech, you've got Tanner Scott close to returning. They want to give it a pretty solid sample size for Alexis Diaz to see if he can be a thing for them, to see if he can be a high leverage guy that you can trust in big situations. And this was a big series to give an opportunity. He didn't get an A. Today was not a good appearance, but Friday was a good one for him. So they're just going to have to continue to evaluate because they're in a pretty interesting spot where they're going to have, hopefully this is the case. Hopefully for the Dodgers, it comes down to they are able to pick which guys they want versus just having to use the guys that are available. And the good problem is depth. And right now, it's looking like guys are going to have to win spots in this Dodgers bullpen down the stretch versus, these are the guys that still have their arm attached to their bodies, and it's still a functioning arm. So that means you're on this bullpen because so many guys got injured, right? So that's the big thing. And some more. We got Treinen, that strike call, not Machado's day today. DFA Treinen, it's from Tay-Rex 12. Is Sasaki done? That's from Poggy. Oh, no. We'll see what he does this season. The velocity has a lot of work. There needs to be a lot of work done with that velocity, but Dave Roberts did say that he's with the team and he's going to go back and rejoin the team for OKC and get another start, so we'll see how that plays up. We'll talk about it tomorrow, but I don't know if you guys saw, I asked Dave Roberts about Bobby Miller, and he did say that Bobby Miller could be an option out of the bullpen. More on that tomorrow on Dodgers Dugout Live. We got Senior Jefe, D-Mac. Dodgers are going to Colorado and eat lightning and crap thunder. Watch out, Pebbles. Let's go. Is that the weather in Denver this week? Is there some I was thinking about going and flying out for that series. I still might. But if there's weather, I fly a lot. I can watch like the scariest movies. I've been skydiving. I've done a lot of crazy things, but not gonna lie, I hate turbulence. I don't know why. Turbulence messes with me. Even though it's just like I've looked it up and I know all the science behind it. I don't know. Turbulence is crazy. Have you seen that new plane, by the way? It's a plane that's made of glass. It's a prototype. Love the pencil bat from Sunny 710. Pencil bat is a killer. Number 2 action there. Okay, that's a comment of the show from Senior Jefe. Pencil bat is a killer. Number 2 action there. Yeah, they had the lead. They gave them the lead, right? I like that though. Yeah, it's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's pretty cool, and I wouldn't like it like all the time, but it is kind of fun. It is pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of I mean, I think the you guys want to hear a joke about pencils? You guys want to hear a joke about pencils? Never mind. There's no point. Okay, that joke led nowhere. You know what? I'm just going to use the other end, and we'll start again. I guess that joke wasn't sharp enough. I guess that joke was too mechanical. Okay, I'll stop. All right, we'll stop. It's kind of blunt, But yeah, I did like that pencil bat. I did like the pencil bat. All right, guys, here we go. Teo is clutch. You got 999 super chat from Jason Mamillo. Where are all the Padres fans? Hold up. Can't hear them. Dodgers win. Padres lose. Yeehaw! Hope the first place parade was worth it. By the way, shout out to the Padres, man. Shout out to the Padres because today the Dodgers Stadium cleaning crew got to leave early after the game because the Dodgers had already swept. Okay, we're having fun, guys. Sunday show, D-Mac, talk about Teo's defense. It's costing us. That's from Levens. Yep, Teo's consistently costing. We got Chris Kurtz. We got bench Teo. We got blame Dave. He should be on it, and Mookie should be in the right field. It's not happening. I can tell you from talking to people, Mookie is staying in shortstop. And now the offense is trending up. It's just what they're going with. It's so quiet down here in San Diego. I love the silence from Tom V. Delirium, will Edman be eligible for the postseason roster if he doesn't come back by September 1st? Yeah, he'll still be able to. He can't be added. So yeah, he's gonna be fine from that standpoint. That's not gonna be an issue. But it's a good question though. Bench Teo till he hustles. Levin, that's crazy. He just hit 2. He went back-to-back games with home runs. Come on now. D-Mac Shuey, let's go. That's from Nico. D-Mac has a Dodgers banana hammock. Okay. Let's do some more here, guys. Rest Vesia during the Rockies series for Petco Park. I did ask Dave about Alex Vesia yesterday and the fact that he had given up runs in his last 4 appearances, and he told me that they haven't seen anything as far as how the stuff is playing with all the advanced data that they have and that kind of stuff that suggests that there's anything that's really concerning there. I think it's just a little bit of a rough patch. But I'm with you though. I mean, after hearing Kirby Yates tell us that no pitcher is feeling that great in August, you need Alex Vesia as a very important high leverage reliever from that side. I do think you have to find some ways to get him some rest, and that's why the most important, D-Mac, who will replace Evan Phillips. I mean, their hope is from Ken Warm. Their hope is that Brock Stewart can, but I would like to see Alex Vesia get some rest for sure, and whether that's be just kind of using him sparingly, but that's why it's important. Let's get a cushion in this division, and the bigger the cushion you have, the better the chances are that you can do things like that can help you in October so you can keep some of those bullets to when you need them the most. Delirium 9, Alex Freeland's defense is MLB ready, but seems his offense needs another year or two of work in OKC. Yeah, throughout this entire series, you saw Alex Freeland make really impressive plays. Third base, second base, he's a capable shortstop. And that's the story with a lot of young players in this sport is defense. You can play it at a big league level or even a big league level as a plus, but it's finding the way to hit big league pitching is just so incredibly hard. And Alex Freeland hasn't been able to do that yet. He did go 0 for 1 today, but yeah, I mean, he needs more at bats. He needs more time to truly see what he can do. My thing about Alex Freeland that concerns me from the plate as far as just his early evaluation is he hasn't made a lot of hard contact, and you definitely want to kind of lean on that if you are struggling. I like this. JKid323 is Edgardo Henriquez making a case to be on the team. Hell yeah, he is. If you can throw 103, you're immediately under consideration, right? You're right away getting a long look. And his 103.3 mile per hour fastball from yesterday, that surpassed Shohei Ohtani's 101.7 mile per hour fastball that Shohei threw against the Royals back in late June as the fastest pitch for any Dodger this season. Now, if you remember last season, Michael Kopech threw over 102, but that's the fastest and hardest thrown pitch by any Dodgers pitcher in the StatCast era. Just absolute gas. So I think, too, about Henriquez, too. He's another guy that was injured early on this season, could be on the fresher side, and he can also induce soft contact. So with Brusdar Graterol likely done for the season, absolutely. I mean, Edgardo Henriquez was on the Dodgers postseason roster last year. So there's no reason to think that he won't be a guy this year. And we'll see how Michael Kopech looks. But you want that fireballer. And yes, he's raw, but give me raw talent over experience. I mean, especially in the postseason. I know you want experience over raw talent, but when you got some experienced dudes already, I think that you want some guys that have big upside plays. Watch Weapons, great horror movie. I'll watch that, okay? D-Mac loves Rocky Mountain oysters from Mr. Honey. Wonder Woman's plane. Yeah, there we go. What do you guys think about Henriquez so far? Turbulence is like an STD. You don't want either, D-Mac. Okay, Jeremy. Pass Conforto the pencil. I like it. Teoscar's defense and right might cost us in the playoffs. I mean, certainly. The taste it, bruh, with the dad joke. Oh, Jose says, bruh. Francie, bruh. A glass plane. Bruh. I'm getting a lot of bruhs for that. Alex Randy, D-Mac with the dad joke. Those are not jokes. Exactly. All right, guys. I like it. D-Mac deserves a bruh. Fire D-Mac from Brian Diaz. William Q. Van Halen. Shout out to Van Halen from Pasadena. I got my pencil. I have a crazy story about Van Halen. I'll tell later. D-Mac, meet us in Colorado for Ohtani start on Wednesday. That would be the 1-10. That's for sure. Tell Dave to tell Teo to hustle. Kirby, yikes. That's from Carl. Couple more here, guys. I love talking ball with you guys, but let's get some more. Who's your MV3 if you want to throw those out? Your three most important players that led to a Dodgers win today. Could probably debate some. Could get us kicked off. But I want to read yours first. We've got D-Mac, have the Dodgers send Vesia to San Diego and wait there for the team. Alex Andrade. I like how we're all kind of on the same page there about wanting to give Alex Vesia some rest for sure. Machado 0 for 5 today. Ouch, but at least he gives props during his AB to the pitching. How about this dude like striking out with a blown bubble, and then yesterday he gets thrown out at second with a blown bubble. I know if he was doing that with the Dodgers, you guys would be absolutely all over him. No doubt about it. Confortuitous is catching. You miss or don't swing at the plate. I like it. Extend. Okay, Jose Aguirre says extend Congoto. So are we going to call him Congoto instead of O for Fordo? Come on, I like that. Matt says, Matt Argueta says, D-Mac address Teo's lack of hustle, please. I did talk about it. I think that Teo's not a guy that you think of when you're like, oh, this guy is, he's running into the catcher, or he's a guy that is known for his sprint speed, even though he's an above average runner, or making these highlight catches like that you associate with making highlight plays. But what he is clutch. And what he does is hit big home runs in big spots. He rakes against lefties. I don't think it's a mind thing with him, though. Like, I don't think that's a disrespect thing from Teoscar Hernandez. Like, Teoscar Hernandez kind of is who he is. Big smile, beloved by his teammates. That one he should have ran out, and that was inexcusable. I'm not trying to defend that. But I don't think that a lot of times when a guy doesn't hustle, it's like he's like a bad apple, right? Teoscar's not a bad apple. Like, he's a great apple. Like, he's like the best apple, right? Like, he's a guy from a vibe standpoint. He's the guy that brings so much to the team, man. Like, he is a Honeycrisp, man. He's a Gala. He's a Granny Smith. Like, he's a Fuji. Like, I don't know what your favorite apple is, but he's a great apple. But I will say that, yeah, like, for him to make it where you're not talking about his bad defense or you're not talking about his lack of hustle, he has to rake at a high level, and he did that this weekend, right? So when you're talking about Manny Machado in the 2018 World Series, and it was the Johnny Hustle thing, it was, you're doing that in the World Series where it's preventing us from giving us the best chance to score runs. And he wasn't raking like Teo has done in the past. So I still think that if this happens again, I'd be surprised. I think if that same play happened for Teoscar Hernandez that we saw today, then I'd be surprised. I think that he processed that, kind of took that. And also, too, you got to remember, too, here's another thing. He's been dealing, I don't know, it hasn't really been reported that much, but he has been dealing with a bad foot for a little bit. So, I mean, I'm curious to see how like, the groin, the foot, and all that stuff, that impacts his hustle, because it certainly does. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like, when you're playing injured, which he clearly probably is to a degree, it's probably going to be affecting him. I think that is something to consider at least. I'm not making an excuse, but I do think that's something. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button for your first place Los Angeles Dodgers. The first sweep for LA since early July. You already won the season series against San Diego, and now you've got a nice 2-game lead that's actually a 3-game lead with a 71-53 record, and you take on the Rockies tomorrow in Denver. Yamamoto on the mound. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Join us tomorrow at 12 for Dodgers Dugout Live. Hit the like button if you want to support the show. Drop a comment, and remember, you can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Big shout out to producer Tony Taters. Antonio, always remote producing this show, so give him some love. And remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Oh, Mookie Betts with his 15th home run.